Welcome back to the channel, and then today's episode I finally own a Leica lens. Kind of. Well, I actually own a Leica supported lens, an M mount Voigtlander 40mm 1.4. It's a classic lens, not the single. I'm not sure if it's single coated or multi-coated lens, but hey, it's the closest thing to a Leica I've owned right now. And of course, I won't be mounting it on a Leica. I will be mounting it on my trusty Fujifilm X-T2. Even though I don't own a Leica, but is it better than any TT Artisan or 7 Artisan lens? I guess, kind of. I much prefer the 35mm TD Artisan because that is one of my favorite 35mm lens. Also 1.4. So I'm not gonna do a comparison between those two, and I cannot afford a Leica lens because I am cheap. I can't even afford anything at hard off, let alone a Leica lens. So on today's episode, we'll be going back to Julau, where I'll be spending the rest of my time during Gawai with my family. Yes, as you may know, I am Iban. I'm from Borneo. I'm from Malaysia. Don't worry, I'm not gonna tell you history about Gawai festive season. You can look for global gibbons for that. I may be Iban, but I'm not that Iban. So on my first trip, I'll be shooting it at the airport. Oh yeah, by the way, the previous episode that's actually shot a long time ago. Oops. But this time, I really am at Gawai. First thing first, I want to test out the focusing system. I've missed a lot of focus during my first few shots with this lens. Apparently the peaking zebra thingy on the Fujifilm camera is not that accurate, but it's actually accurate. Maybe the focusing is not on point. That's just my problem, not the lens problem or the Fujifilm problem. And on our way to explore Cebu. Oh yeah, there's this guy looking for something in a puddle. Not sure what it is, but hey, yeah. Sadly, I misfocused. There's a lot of misfocus in this lens. And then we're off to Julau. Sadly, of course, we cannot stop at Julau town because of the rain. So instead, we just drive directly to our place. So this is my kampong. Kampong means house or farmhouse. And then we're off to visiting some folks. So we stumble across this fort, a very old fort. I don't remember the name. It's a fort whereby the Englishmen, they defended us Iban from the Japanese during WW2. Maluan.
Lu masuk eh? Masuk? Jangan masuk lah.
Let's test out the low light from this lens.
Boleh gambar apa?
I know, right? Kami ke baro ba? Kami ke baro. Isi utai ba? Fort. Tinggi juga kan coba.
Nya bawa pati. Nya bawa pati betul din.
Hah?
Nya bawa pati.
Ya kan ini pati. Oh iyalah,
Getah lagi. What the heck? Sebelah dia. Nya baru gawai.
Then we're off to doing some visiting. Then we try out this exotic food, which is fox. What do you call fox in food terms? I know pig, pork, and chicken. What about fox?
How the heck am I gonna eat this?
Okay. Alright. Okay. Di ka one shot ka?
How jauh? Tunggu.
Di ko.
Like, hot shot.
Of course, this is the only place that we'll be visiting, so... And then we return back to our home. Where we bust out some cultural and traditional Iban beats.
Lagu Cina kumpul pun. Kenapa gitu?
Of course, we're not perfect. Nobody is, so we decided to play it as it is. Let's make it funky.
Ủa mà nhạc mấy rồi nó bà cái mấy giờ nào
Mấy mua hắn cái này.
kéo tạt hoang cái đấy
Đập đó.
kéo nó mà sao cái đấy một cầu
Baby. On the next day, my grandma assigned us to go back to the other kampong. Kampong means home, but in Iban, home or farmhouse. village home, I don't know, but the other home that we have in Julau, which is a farmhouse.
Mie kompor.
The farmhouse with all the cows, so we get to explore that farmhouse, and this is where I abuse the living hell out of the Voigtlander lands. Let's go. Now, quite frankly, it is sort of like shooting with the Leica lens, because I bought the hood, this metal lens hood, to make it looks Leica-ish. Yes, I know, I'm obsessed with Leica. Who doesn't? So with this lens, there is this trigger thing of aperture stop, and it feels so good to turn. Like, see, you hear that? Oh dear. It's like a TD Artisan lens, of course, but more OG. And it has this focal knob, make it easier for you if you want to do the quick focusing like this. There's this focal knob. It's really helpful. And then being that it's 1.4, of course it's good in low light.
Hello.
So now let's explore the old home. So the reason we stopped staying there, because my grandpa is he couldn't walk too far, so he has to stay back at the other farm. So nobody's there to take care of the farm, so all we can do is just ride via the boat all the way to that farm, and then take care of it, feed the cows, feed the dogs, feed the cats. It's a sad place because it used to be lively before when we were kids, but now that our grandparents are getting older and nobody's to take care of that house, it's sadly to say it's gonna be abandoned. And then let's hope God takes good care of it. I know, right?
Itu jalan sapi lah.
Masih lubang wah dalam.
Sige lang untuk orang berak lah.
Satu jual. Ya, jago kita. Baru tercapai.
Kan gelap kan.
Itu dulu. Ada gue makanya buang.
And of course, like any Iban out there, we love our barbecue. And I get to take picture of both my grandparents. So what do I think of the lens? I'm not gonna do pixel peeping with this lens. I'm not even a professional photographer. I just use it because, again, it's like a Leica lens. It's an M mount and it feels nice on the hand. I can't wait to take this with me to Pontianak. So that's gonna be our next video where I explore Pontianak with a Voigtlander lens. But the question remains, will I ever own a Leica?